Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm sorry there's been like a 2-month delay. I actually have some health issues that go up and down, and it's like chronic fatigue syndrome. It's kind of this mysterious thing, but I've been doing a little bit better lately, and I'll be better eventually. Don't worry. But yeah, so I took a little bit of a break. Today's video and the next couple I actually recorded a couple months ago. I just didn't get around to editing them and publishing them. But I'm going to start. So I'm going to get all these out to you. And I also recorded a new episode last night. So the train's rolling again. And subscribe if you want to hop aboard. All right, here's today's video. My chess champions, welcome back to the Brush Off the Dust like a 1700 series. So today I thought I'd do some more puzzles. What I'm going to do this time is just regular rated puzzles. And I think I'm going to chop the time where I'm thinking and just hit pause and basically help give you hints as we go along. But it would be too long if I just sit here thinking through all of these all the way. So this will be kind of a practice session. We'll see how it goes. Let me know down in the comments if you like this or not. Here we go. So by the way, so I'm around like 2,700 on puzzles, which might sound insane if you don't know that chess.com puzzle ratings are just like super inflated by like anywhere from like 1,000 to like, I don't know, like for like 1,200 points potentially. So I'm usually, I think my best is around, I think when I'm really on it, I'm doing well, I'm like 2,800. If I'm just kind of messing around, I'm like the 26s. So a lot of that is dependent on how long how disciplined I am and how long I actually spend thinking on the puzzle, as opposed to like, yeah, whatever, like, let's just make a move. So, all right, here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so the first thing I noticed, the first thing I was looking at in this puzzle was if there's any sort of mating ideas somewhere over on this part of the board. We do have a check here, and it's something you should consider. Like maybe somehow there's a mate, but there's nothing there. And yeah, I tried to look at how to sneak the queen in, but it just doesn't quite seem like anything is working out there. So then after I stared at that for a while, I started to notice, okay, what else in the position can we take a look at? And I realized that white has this pressure here with this rook. And if you just trade, I was like, okay, maybe we trade the rooks. The problem is they take with check. And then you can't block with the queen because it would be undefended. So then you go king h7, and then do you see the final move in that sequence? It is queen to h8, checkmate. So our king is here, their queen is here, that's a checkmate. So we can't take the rook or else we get mated. So that's as far as I got for now. I'm gonna think a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm thinking because white has some mating threats, it made me look back at this part of the board again, and now I'm thinking maybe it's a perpetual. Maybe we want to get a perpetual check here. Because we can start things off. Wait, now I'm blanking. What was this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can start things off. So we do have one check here, which is queen to g4 check. Only move is king to g2. And then we can just dance around. So we can come back, check. If they move up the pawn, then basically we're going to come in here and the king is going to bounce around and we're going to bounce around. Just check, check, check. So the line I'm looking at is queen to g4 check, king to g2, queen back to e4 check. If the king... or one last little trick in this puzzle, or this part of the branch here, is if we have that same line and then the king tucks in here, actually then we have a checkmate on f1. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I can't put it on the board or else it'll show me the solution. But I think that is the answer, and I'm going to submit that. I would maybe spend a little more time thinking if I wasn't on a video, but let's play it. Let me also just double check that there's nothing else. There are no better moves. You know, it's when you see a good move, look for a better one. So I think this is the move. We do also have a knight check. Oh, wow. Does this lead to mate? I think it does. Wow. So no matter where white goes, the queen is coming to the back rank and it's game over. So that's why, guys, you when you see a good move, you look for a better one. So I found this sort of by accident. I didn't figure out the whole solution ahead of time, but I thought it was a perpetual. But then I still took the time to think about, okay, is this really the best move? And I did find a winning sequence. All right. That puzzle was rated 2150. Okay, so this is a pretty hard one. And in general, guys, by the way, these are very hard puzzles, even for me. I'm not seeing the solution right away. One thing to notice, just to make sure you see it, is that there is an en passant available. It's taken me a really long time to develop enough muscle memory to see that in a puzzle like this, like, oh, I can play en passant. And just know that that is an option, because sometimes I'll get really stuck when I don't realize that. So en passant is an option. And actually, I just realized their queen would be undefended after the en passant. That doesn't help us right now, because if we take, they could just trade. But maybe, now that I see this, maybe there's a way to get the king to G. Oh, well, no, never mind, because en passant you have to do immediately. Okay, this is me being rusty. So some other potential moves I saw: pawn to G6 is a threat. We add extra pressure here. Maybe we can queen sack. I'm not sure. Also, queen to H6 threatens this bishop, and maybe we sack here at some point. I'm not sure. Also, the first thing I should have mentioned that I was staring at for a while was, does the queen sack work? So does queen takes work? Rook takes, check. The king comes over, but I didn't see a clear final blow there, because we check. They're going to come up. We can bring our other rook, check, and then they come here. And I don't see a mate there. Sorry, there's so many arrows. I feel like Hikaru. But so in that position, their king is here. I have two rooks here. There's nothing else. How do you deliver a mate from there? You can check with the rook. Then the king goes back. I don't think there's a finish there. Okay, I'm going to pause and think some more. Okay, I just thought for like 5 seconds. I think I just realized what the puzzle is. So we take en passant, and we're threatening to take the rook with check. Meanwhile, the queen is undefended. So you can, with precise move order, if you take, if they try to trade queens, then what do you do in that position? You do an in-between move, intermezzo, which is you take the rook with check, and then you're going to recapture the queen. So basically, we win a rook. Takes, check, and then we take the queen. Okay. 2600 rated puzzle. Pretty good one. Okay. That's about as high as I can solve them. So, for some reason, the rating of the puzzle, like my puzzle rating is higher generally than like the strength of puzzle that I can solve. Don't ask me why. Okay, here's a fresh one. Let's give it some thought. Okay, so some of my first thoughts here. The most natural looking move is bishop to c4. It seems like the king is pretty trapped here. The king can only come to, bishop c4, king can only come to either e5 or f6. But I didn't see a follow-up. I guess if they go king, okay, let's look at them individually. So I guess if king f6, oh no, we can't go here. This is double covered. What am I thinking? Still rusty, guys. I'm still rusty. All right. Yeah, so after bishop c4, I don't see a clear follow-up. Then I started to look at what else can we see in the position, and I realized that there's this X-ray on the king. So if black gets a chance, they can do a move such as bishop to d6, check, winning the queen. So it seems like decisive action is required on our part, or some sort of way maybe to get rid of this rook or something to remove that threat. Okay, now I need to think some more. Okay, so now I think I didn't look deep enough at that line before. Actually, I looked deeper than I showed you guys. So what I looked at before was bishop c4 check, king to f6, and I looked at, okay, what if we can do some sort of knight check? So bishop c4, king f6. What about this knight check? Knight to d5 check. I ruled this move out because it seems like black can just run away various directions, and it seems like they're getting away from the danger. But when they do that, so here's the moves again. Knight to here. If black runs to here, for example, then our queen can jump in with a check. Okay, maybe that's promising. Same thing if we go check and they go here. Same thing, queen can jump here with a check. And now that's almost mate actually, because we have, oh no, sorry, this bishop is no longer here. But we have some pressure on this rook, and this bishop can maybe swing back, and I don't know. There's like a crisscross mate that maybe we can win this rook or get some sort of mating pattern. Sorry, again, I know that's a lot of arrows. I hope that kind of makes sense. Actually, in general, like one of the best reasons, or one of the reasons puzzles are so helpful is it helps you with that visualization and that calculation. So that's definitely a skill you can acquire. It's not like I was just born being able to like see that deep in a line. I practiced it. And there are people who can see way deeper than I can. So that's just how it goes. Okay. I'm going to think a little bit more. Okay, guys, I've calculated as far as I can. I think I found it. It's super gnarly, and there were like multiple lines. I'm going to try to show you. It's going to be hectic. I hope you can follow it. Okay, so first move, queen c4 check. King has multiple options. Let's look at king f6. Knight to d5 check. Now from here, depending on where the black king goes, I think basically the queen is going to infiltrate, and there will either be some sort of checkmate like in the corner over here, or we're going to be able to win this rook. Let me play it on the board. I think it might be easier if I could show you this all after the fact. Okay, that was the correct first move. Now I believe it's knight to d5, and black has multiple options. I think pretty much every option, the queen is going to come here on the next move. Okay, so queen is going to come to e7 check, I believe. Oh, we do also have this check at potentially, but yeah, so queen to e7 check. Now, if the king comes to g4, what do you do, guys? Pause and see if you can see it. Bishop to e2, checkmate. Remember I said those crisscrosses might come into play? That's the crisscross mate. Now, what if the king goes to h5? Well, we can still do a check. The king can run away, sort of. We could also potentially, if the king comes here, maybe this queen check also is winning at the right moment. I'm not sure. Because like the king will come back to here, and what's our follow-up? Oh. And then we can recapture. I think that is the mate. I'm just going to play this move for the sake of time. Okay, let's look at the analysis on this. 2300. I think that's a way harder problem than that. I think it's lower rated because the moves are like guessable. So queen c4 check, knight to d5 check. Now, if king g7, queen e7 check is what I was looking at. Actually, I didn't find the follow-up. What the line I looked at that was crazy is if they go king f6, we can go queen e7 check. And then what's the... Oh, actually, I guess it's not... I thought this was going to be mate in my head for some reason, but it's not mate immediately. But there's a mate in 2 here. There's a mate in 2, which I just looked. You can pause if you want to find it. It's it's knight here. Discover check. Only move. And then checkmate. Beautiful. Okay, so I miscalculated that line. That's okay, though. If king here to e5, what's the move? Pause and tell me the move. Queen to e7, checkmate. This line I saw. And then, yeah, let's look at this line now. So queen to e7 check. This is where they end the sequence, but the mate I was telling you was here. Oh, this isn't mate? Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm still rusty. All right. Okay. Yeah, this is a really tough puzzle, guys. Yeah, and they can run this way too. Oh, but if they run that way, we take the rook. So yeah, I was looking at. I guess this is the strongest line. And then what do we do? I guess the knight can come in at the right moment. Computer wants queen to g5. Oh, wow, that is savage. That's savage. So the idea here is you want to get your queen closer to the king, and you have some mating threats. It depends on how black moves the pieces here. But this is the mating threat. Man. But even then, like the rook can move away. So like here, let's put it on the board. So like here, let's say the rook moves away. You don't have a... Oh, they want... Oh, there are multiple maiden threes. The first one is f4, and then you're gonna deliver a check this way, basically, and mate. Okay, enough of this. This was a crazy puzzle. Let's do one more. Okay, let's take a look at this one, and I'll talk about it in a sec. Okay, guys, so first thing I'm noticing about this puzzle is we have some double checks. So notice the bishop's x-raying. So we can take, the knight can take here, or go here. So there are two double checks possible, and it feels like we should be able to mate them in the corner. I haven't found a line yet that works that out, so I'm going to keep looking deeper, and I suggest you do the same. All right, I'm going to think some more. Okay, guys, I think I got it. The other thing I considered, by the way, that I think is part of the answer is when I was looking at this double check, then the king moves to the corner. I was looking at this knight move where the knight comes here, and maybe somehow there's like a smothered mate or something in this position. I couldn't quite get it to work, but I think it's part of the puzzle, or it's a piece of the solution. So give it a little more thought on that idea. Okay, guys, I found the solution. This is a disgusting checkmate. So here it is. First move, knight to e2. Now, your intuition should be this move over knight f3 after you look at it for a little bit, because with knight e2, after the king moves to the corner, you're going to have a possible check with the knight. And when you throw this check in, this bishop is uncovered, so the king is basically mated in the corner there. Whereas if you went knight takes f3, when the king moves to the corner, the knight here on f3, there's no checks. It's not so clear how you follow up, because like if you try to take here, the knight just takes. So that's how my intuition drove me towards, okay, let's look down the e2 tree of the decision making. They come here. Now you need to sometimes look at multiple move orders and mix things around when it feels like something should work. You got to just kind of keep trying to get the pieces to fit together. So if you want to take one more crack at it, pause from that part of the puzzle, and then I'll explain the rest of it. So what we need to do is ultra smother the king. I looked at, maybe queen g3 or something and to come in here, but there's just no follow-up there. So what you do is you go bishop takes g2, check. This would be mate if not for the knight, because remember, this bishop, you have to visualize, this knight is no longer here, the knight's on this square. Therefore, this bishop is controlling this diagonal. Therefore, when this bishop takes, that's basically mate. Only move in that position is knight takes pawn. Okay, a lot of arrows. We'll go through it one more time. It's good for you guys to visualize this in your head. So, knight to e2 check, king goes to the corner. Bishop takes g2, knight takes g2. Okay, so there's a knight here, there's a knight here, the king is here, there's nothing else. Now, what is the follow-up from there? See if you can find that line. We need to, again, try to smother the king. So we have knight here, check, king to the corner, bishop takes, knight takes. Now we need to bring this knight to g3 check. g3 check. Almost mate. Once again, remember this bishop is controlling this diagonal. The white knight is here. Our knight is checking. So this would be mate. Therefore, the pawn has to take. And then you need to deliver the checkmate. Can you see that? Can you visualize that? I know it's a lot of move, guys. This is pretty advanced. But there is a checkmate with the queen to h3. Let's take a look. Check. Now, this would be mate if not for the knight. Now, this would be mate if not for the pawn. And then we deliver the checkmate. This bishop controls the square. Game over. Beautiful. All right, we're going to end it there, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed these puzzles. Let me know if this was maybe too difficult, too many arrows and stuff. But this is the type of stuff I do when I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get better at chess. And you should too. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.